Hey, what's up guys? It's Marv and welcome back to another Asphalt 9 update video. Today I have the patch notes for the British season update. Now this is going to be the next season after the American season, which is currently in its last leg. And yeah, so first off we have a new career season called the British season. So I assume this is going to require just a lot of British cars, and it's just nice to have another career season for people to complete. But yeah, that's pretty much it for career in this update. Now, let's get on to the juicy stuff, which are the new cars I'm sure everyone is excited about. So first up, we have the Aston Martin Valhalla concept car. This looks like it's going to be the premier car for this update, situated at the top of A-Class. Now, beyond the base stats, we don't know much about these cars in this update, but this one here looks like it's going to be a pretty good contender for A-Class King. It looks like it has pretty darn good acceleration and handling, and it starts at a rank of 3200, so it's pretty far up there. And yeah, it takes 50 blueprints to unlock, and so we're expecting this to be pretty good for A-Class. Next up, we have the Jaguar XK75. Now, this is not as extreme as the Valhalla, and the rank starts at only around 2700, and it doesn't require as many stars as the Valhalla, so it looks like this car is going to be around the mid-tier of A-Class, so expect this to be situated near cars such as the McLaren P1, the 918, and cars like that. Also, it comes in orange, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we have the Season Pass car for this update. Of course, it is in C-Class like all of the other Season Pass cars we have had. This is the Bentley Mulliner Bacalar, and it looks pretty darn cool, so I'm sad it's going to be the Season Pass car, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a C-Class King, which is nice. It looks like it's going to be fairly similar to the other cars we have had in the Season Pass car collection, such as the Gallardo and the C8 Corvette. Here you can also see a screenshot of what one of the decals is going to look like for this car. Next up, we have the two Grand Prix cars that are coming in this update. So like I said, two Grand Prix events for this update. The first one here is the Bentley Continental GT3. This looks like it's going to be a pretty okay D-Class car, although its nitro efficiency is really bad. So we only have the base stats, like I said, so hopefully this nitro efficiency gets better as you upgrade it, but this is not going to be a D-Class King. It doesn't even have legendary blueprints, and it only has 4 stars. Now, next up is the one we've all been waiting for in terms of this update. This is the McLaren F1 LM. Here you can see it in its new Grand Prix decal, and like we've known for a while now, this is situated right at the top of B-Class, so hopefully we have another B-Class King on our hands here that is focused on top speed, so probably similar to the Apollo in its way the stats are sort of mapped out here, and it's going to be pretty exciting. We don't have any other information, of course, beyond the base stats and the decal we have here. Next up, let's go over some of the other changes we have in this update, including emotes. Disabling emotes in the profile will now remove them from the action phase UI, so this is going to be nice for people who want to clean up the way the game looks without just kind of having the emote button sitting there and not using it, which is nice. Emotes can also now be finally triggered with the controller or keyboard. They've also added new emotes, and they've updated the way that you interact with emojis during a race to make them easier and quicker to trigger. So it's just streamlining the way emotes work. Next up, in terms of multiplayer, it says they've adjusted the capped point loss. So hopefully this means if you get matched up with some people you just don't have a good enough car for and you lose, hopefully you won't be losing that many points as compared to what you usually will lose. This is pretty nice, especially for people who don't have many really good cars. Next up, they've changed the matchmaking, so now you should get matched against racers in the same league more frequently. Now, it doesn't say that they've eliminated this completely, but hopefully this should reduce the times where you're in a LaFerrari and you get matched up against a Jesco. They've also adjusted the multiplayer card packs, but we don't know much about it, and the knockdown system has been rolled back to the old version. Now let's go over some of the platform-specific changes in this update. In terms of iOS and macOS, all they've done is just improve the stability and fixed some bugs. However, for Android, there's a pretty significant thing here. They've fixed some bugs and of course improved the game's stability and performance. However, it says they are opening 60 FPS to 240 devices in this update, which is really nice to see, especially for people with flagship Android phones that just didn't receive the specific support for 60 FPS. Most likely, if you have a Snapdragon 855 or 865, you will probably be receiving the 60 FPS option, which is really awesome to see. And yeah, it says 240 Android devices, which sounds like a lot, but you'll just have to wait and see because there isn't a specific list that we've received yet. So you're just gonna have to find out when the update drops, unfortunately. And finally, for Windows, it just says they fixed the high CPU usage, which was causing performance issues. So yeah, that's it for this update. Quite a lot here, but nothing as crazy as some of the previous updates. So probably a nice break for a lot of people who are just starting school and whatnot. So it's not going to be anything too crazy. The Grand Prix are going to be quite nice, especially the F1 LM. It's going to be nice to have a new B-Class King besides just a bunch of Huracans running around and whatnot. The CX-75 Jaguar looks pretty darn cool, and of course I love the orange of that. And the Valhalla looks pretty darn mean, but it isn't the Valkyrie, which a lot of people were hoping for. And yeah, so let me know your thoughts on this update in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys later.